I got a little interrupted there, but I ended up getting a package. Just got 2 new additions, Pure and Bionic Commando, to my 360 collection. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to play this, but let me get back to what I was doing because I kind of got cut off. The last game I was talking about, Pilotwings. A lot of people love this game. This is just one of those games. I just bought it personally because so many other people like it, and I like to keep it around. I like to keep games in my collection that people are, gonna remember. So with Pilotwings, it was just a game that I didn't play at the time that it was popular. So it just never really caught my attention or whatnot. Next up, Pitfall. I didn't get to play this too much. This is just one of those things that are in my collection. I don't know how they got in my collection. Okay. Next up, Populous. I've never played this. It seems like it's an RTS game or something like that. It says, the ultimate triumph of good over evil. That's pretty much a description of every fucking video game ever made. So, that might just be the best game of all time. But, next up, I hate this game. Like, really, I hate this game. And if you like this game, I hate you too. But it's Primal Rage. I freaking hate this game. You have no idea. No matter how many different consoles it came out on, I forgot which console had the best version. I know it's one of the consoles that didn't really do good. It might be 3DO or something like that. But I just hate it. It was such a weak attempt at a Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or whatever fighter you want to say, but it was a very weak attempt at trying to take a genre by storm or whatnot. Next up is the Skins game. It's a golf game, but never played it. I don't think you release a game called the Skins game nowadays without an AO rating. So next up, you might have seen some of the figures in my the shelf video, but it's Spawn. I actually remember this game. If this is the game that I actually remember, it was pretty fun. I have to play it again to really give you a in-depth review on it and whatnot. And Stanley Cup hockey. Only real hockey games I've ever played were Wayne Gretzky for N64. I forgot what it was actually called. And Blades of Steel for NES. Anything past that or in between that, I never really played. This is NHL Stanley Cup for Super Nintendo. You already know, you've seen us play Street Fighter, my brother and I. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Awesome. And next up online, this is how you get it better. Super Street Fighter 2. Next up is a game that pretty much everybody on Super Nintendo has had or played in the past. This copy that I have is kind of beat up, but I definitely have to get another one. That's Super Mario World, one of my favorite Marios of all time. I'm not sure. I mean, post these in the comments. Is there any way to get past? I think it was 96 completion rate in that game, because I've never gotten past that, and I don't know if anybody else has. But next up, one of those games that are known by many and one of the more popular rare games on Super Nintendo, and that is Super Metroid and Super Metroid. I have 2 of them. So one I definitely I'm gonna give to my brother because he is a gigantic Metroid fan, and one day I'll have a video of us and whatnot speaking about games. But yeah, Super Metroid. I have never beaten this game. Sorry, it's just one of those games I haven't beaten. And post how much you hate me in the comments if you want. So here we go. Super R-Type shooters. When it comes to fighters and shooters, in my opinion, these are the games that require the most skill out of anything, because especially if you're playing games with that are complete like bullet hell, like that's the term they call it, bullet hell. Like if you're playing like Ikaruga or something like that, those games just require like an immense amount of skill. This is Super R-Type, the R-Type series. is extremely awesome. I actually have a collectible from the art type that came out on, I believe it was DS, which is the actual model of the art type ship. Awesome. It's still sealed. I'm never opening it ever. Just 3 games left. Next game up, I have no idea how this got in my collection, but it's Tetris and Dr. Mario, 2 extremely good puzzle games. If you haven't played Tetris and you haven't played Dr. Mario, I suggest you blindfold yourself, dip yourself in gasoline, light it up, throw yourself off a cliff, because you are living under a rock if you have not played Tetris or Dr. Mario. And this is a combination of both. So, you can't really complain about that. Next up is another sports game, and that is Troy Aikman Football. Honestly, it seems like all these licensed sports games that are, pushing one player always seem to end up bad. I don't know. I mean, that's in my opinion. The only one that I think ever was good, and I might be wrong about this. My mind is completely blank as far as the amount of sports games that have players in the title. But I think it was Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball on N64, which is pretty decent. But Troy Aikman Football, I've never played it. I'm sorry. So I might be bashing it. It might actually be a good game. But sorry about that. I've never even played it. And last but not least, one of my favorite Super Nintendo games, if not probably my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. And it starts with a Z or an L if you wanted to get real in depth. But that is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. One of the greatest Zelda games out there. My personal favorite is Ocarina of Time, but this is right there as far as in terms of quality. Like the music, everything in this game is just amazing. So there you have it. That's my Super Nintendo collection. Untouchable Force signing out. Ladies.
What are you, a wise guy or something? What?